Sophia was maltreated by her husband and in-laws for being jobless, broke, and fully dependent on her husband, who happens to be the only son of his parents. They mocked her, made her do endless chores, and stripped her of her dignity. But one day, while cleaning her husband's wardrobe, Sophia found a letter that would change her life forever. Sophia grew up in the lap of luxury. Her parents owned a multi-million-dollar empire, showering her with every luxury money could buy: designer clothes, sparkling jewelry, and extravagant vacations. But more than wealth, her parents taught her kindness and generosity. Sophia believed the world was as honest and good as her parents. That belief was her strength and her greatest vulnerability. When Sophia met Daniel, it felt like a dream. Tall, broad-shouldered, and charming, Daniel was everything she ever wanted. He wasn't just handsome, he was attentive, kind, and said all the right things. To Sophia, Daniel loved her for who she was, not her family's wealth. Her feelings grew every day, and soon she was convinced that Daniel was indeed her soulmate. But tragedy struck when Sophia's family died in a plane crash. In an instant, her life was turned upside down. Devastated, she leaned on Daniel for support. He reassured her, saying, "You don't need to worry about anything. I will handle it all." Sophia trusted him completely. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months, but something didn't feel right. Her parents' will was never discussed. Their houses and cars were sold, and her life began to unravel. When Sophia finally asked about the will, Daniel sighed deeply, his face full of apparent grief. "Sophia," he said, "your parents left nothing for you. Their company was in debt and everything had to be sold to cover the losses." Sophia believed him. Why would he lie to her, she thought. With nowhere to run to, she moved in with Daniel, agreeing to a small court wedding attended only by his mother and two sisters. Life after marriage was nothing like Sophia had imagined. The once sweet-talking Daniel turned into a monster. He beat her, forced her to do endless chores, and humiliated her. One day, Daniel came home drunk and, seeing the house untidy, unleashed his rage. He beat Sophia up until she fainted. At the hospital, the doctor delivered a heartbreaking news. Sophia had lost her pregnancy due to the assault. Sophia woke up confused and heartbroken. She hadn't even known that she was pregnant. Despite her grief, Daniel showed no remorse. Back at home, things worsened. His mother and sisters had moved in, turning Sophia into a full-time slave. They mocked her for being jobless, insulting her for losing the baby, and justified Daniel's abuse. Sophia's once glamorous life had become a living nightmare. Her in-laws forced her to work on the farm, clean the entire house, cook for the family, and wash all their clothes, all while enduring constant insults. At night, she was expected to fulfill her wifely duties, even when she was physically and emotionally exhausted. One day, as Sophia was cleaning Daniel's room, she opened his wardrobe to help him rearrange it and discovered an envelope. Curiosity got the better of her. She opened it and her heart stopped. The document inside revealed that Sophia was the rightful owner of multiple properties, shares in thriving businesses, and several bank accounts, all secured in her name. Her father had planned everything to protect her future. A note attached to the last documents read, "Dear Sophia, these assets are secured under your name. No one, not even the bank, can touch them without your consent. Contact my best friend, Mr. Philip, for guidance. He can't be trusted. Love always, Dad." Sophia immediately called Mr. Philip with the number provided in the letter. He was overjoyed to hear from her. He explained how he had been searching for her to give her access to her inheritance. Within hours, he arrived at Sophia's house to pick her up. Daniel's mothers and sisters watched suspiciously through the window, eager to report her to Daniel. When Daniel returned, he accused Sophia of cheating, but this time, Sophia stood her ground. She threw the document in his face. He opened it. Shocked, Daniel realized his plan to steal her asset had failed. As Daniel flipped through the documents, his face turned pale. He realized that his darkest secret had come to light. Sophia stood tall, her voice steady but filled with anger. "You lied to me, Daniel. You told me my parents left nothing, that I was broke and I couldn't work because of their debts. But the truth is, everything was in my name all along. Why did you hide this from me?" Daniel's mother and sisters looked on, confused. Daniel tried to recover his voice trembling. "Sophia, I was trying to protect you. You wouldn't have known how to manage all of this." But Sophia wasn't buying it. "Protect me? Or steal from me? I don't understand. Do you think I don't know about all your attempt to bribe Mr. Philip? You wanted him to hand over all my inheritance so you could sell everything and keep the money for yourself." Unknown to Daniel, Mr. Philip had been trying to warn Sophia for months. Daniel had approached him multiple times, offering bribe to access her assets, but Mr. Philip, loyal to Sophia's family, refused every attempt. Daniel's plan was simple: sell off the remaining properties, drain the account, and leave Sophia with nothing. But every time he tried, he was blocked by the strict legal protections her father had put in place. Daniel, now desperate, tore the photocopied document in half. "Let me see how you claim anything now," he sneered. But Sophia laughed bitterly. "Do you think I am that naive? Those are photocopies. The originals are with Mr. Philip and the police are already on their way." That moment, Mr. Philip walked in with police officers. "Officers," he said, pointing at Daniel, "that is the man who has been defrauding my late friend's daughter." Daniel's face crumpled as the officers scoffed him. "You will regret this, Sophia, I promise," he shouted. "After all I did for you, this is how you pay me back?" Sophia's voice rang out, strong and resolute. "Everything you did? You mean enslaving me in my own house, lying to me, beating me up, making me lose my baby? No, Daniel, this ends now." As Daniel was dragged away, his mother and sisters tried to defend him. "This is a family matter, officer," his mother yelled. "You can't arrest my brother," one of the sisters cried. But Mr. Philip turned to the officer. "These women aided him. They need to answer for their part in the abuse and fraud." The officer handcuffed them too, ignoring their protest. Justice was finally being served. With her in-laws gone and Daniel's behind bars, Sophia reclaimed her life. She moved to another city, assessed her inheritance, and started fresh. A few weeks later, Sophia discovered she was pregnant. She smiled, placing her hand on her stomach. "This baby is my second chance," she said. Sophia's story is a powerful reminder that resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about rising stronger and wiser than before. Fraud and dishonesty exist, but so do kindness and integrity. The key is to stay mindful, learn from your experience, and never lose hope. Thank you for watching this video. If you found Sophia's story inspiring, please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next time.